Bone conducting headphones like the Naenka Runner Pro 2 that I have here, I already presented to you because they're ideal for sports and action where you still want to hear your surroundings when running around, for example. And this one here is the newest version from Naenka that I have already on my ears, as you can see here, which is quite nice. And I want to do a short unboxing and quick review, so let's get started. When you open up the box, this is what you will get greeted with the Naenka Runner Pro 2. These are the bone conducting headphones that I will take a look at in a sec. But besides that, we have also this little cartonnage here with some interesting insights, because what they ship with is the USB cable with a specific proprietary charging coil there. You can see that we can charge it here on this silver or on this metal pins there. And then we have a lanyard. I'm be completely honest here, I don't know what they are for, probably for not falling off, but I don't know how to put them on even, and I didn't find it in the instruction booklet. So if someone can tell me what this lanyard is for, I'm very all ears basically. And then of course we have, and this is something that they already shipped with the previous versions, some earplugs, because when you put those earplugs in, then you hear the sound even better, more clear. And why I would not recommend to use them with the Runners 2, I will tell you in a minute. But of course we have also a little booklet with the Naenka Runner Pro 2 user manual guide for connecting various different things. But there are some things that are not really written clearly here that I will explain to you just in a sec as well. So let's take a look at the headphones. Here we have the Naenka Runner headphones, Naenka logo. I think there's a battery inside there. There's also the charging port on the opposite side with the controls here, the button controls. And the button controls, when I show it to you, you will see that we have control of almost everything. So we have volume up, volume down, and we have in the middle a power key that also acts as a play pause key if you hold it longer, or can be used as an assistant key if you want to. Assistant key is a bit weird because you can get an assistant, but there's no microphone though there. So this hole there is just a vent hole, I think, or they had a microphone but are not using that. I'm not so sure about it. There is no microphone on the Runner Pro 2, which is a bit of a bummer, I would say, especially if you want to use it for calling when you're jogging or something like this. But this is the headphone itself, and I'll show you how to put it on. This is how you wear the headphones. So you put them over your ears. You can see they're not covering the ear itself. They're just resting here near the ear, as they're using bone conduction for transporting the sound to your ear, which is quite nice and working very, very efficiently with this new Runner Pro 2 version, because the first version that I had, Naenka Runner Cheek, I think is the other model that I checked out. This one had some issue with bass. The bass was a bit lacking and you had to hold it a little bit like this, more to your cheek to get a bit more bass. Or you had to plug in the ear tips, or the earplugs actually, to get a nice ceiling there, and then you don't hear the surrounding sounds and you can hear and concentrate on the music or podcast or whatever you're playing back, and you had real bass. Here this is not necessary anymore. They boosted the bass very much, so you don't need the earplugs. Actually, when you plug in the earplugs, the bass gets too much for my taste, so don't use the earplugs, at least as long as they don't provide an app or some EQing method where you can tune down the bass when you're using it with earplugs. Otherwise, this is a great running and sports and activity headset, especially if you want to hear your surroundings. I could even imagine this being ideal for a workplace where you want to listen to a podcast but still be able to hear your colleagues shouting at you, or colleagues calling you. and this one is fitting very nicely, very comfortably. The only thing that is not for is for lying down in bed, for example. As you can see here, my head is a little bit smaller than the maximum that they assumed. So if I lie on bed, it's like pressing like in front, and then you don't get a good lying down on your cheekbones, and then the sound is like not very good. Otherwise the sound is very good. It's very bass heavy, as I told you. It's a typical V shape, and this is like good for music, for sports, especially when you want to have like this punchy kind of bass, but it's not over punchy. You can still hear your surroundings, which is quite nice. So the sound signature has been improved in contrast to the Runner's Chick that I tested out before. Let's talk a little bit about the controls of those, because we have those 3 buttons only here that are there for controls. Like I told you, volume up, volume down, and play, pause, and turning it on and off. But you can do a little bit more with them as well, because when you're listening to music, sometimes you want to skip a track, and you can just press and hold the plus, the volume up button, to skip a track. And the same way you can go to the previous track by pressing and holding the minus button. What I find a little bit weird is that you have a Google Assistant mode there as well. At least I triggered Google Assistant somehow with those headphones, even though you don't have a microphone there, so Google Assistant cannot hear you. It's trying to hear you via the Bluetooth headset, but yeah, there's no microphone, so it's not going to work. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe they decided in last minute to not include a microphone, or the microphone was broken or something like this, because I saw this vent hole there, which is a bit weird. Anyway, this is one weird thing. Otherwise, it's quite nice. It's working nice. You have even multi-device connection support. This is working a little bit fiddly, because what you have to do when you have it first connected to a device is you have to disconnect it from this device and then connect it to the other device, and then when you are lucky, it's connecting to 2 devices. Lucky in this case that it did not work reliably for me, that it connected to 2 devices, but I can now connect it to my laptop and a smartphone, which is working fine. The switch is sometimes not working fine, but I think it has something to do with the laptop holding on to the audio Bluetooth devices a little bit longer than it should or has to. I couldn't connect it to 2 smartphones for some reason, but yeah, this is in theory working with multi-device support, which is quite nice. And when you get a call, for example, actually when you get a call, you cannot really answer the call, so it doesn't make any sense. So I'm not sure about that so much. Otherwise, it's quite good. As I said, like sometimes even I have the feeling that, especially the voice controls that tell you, it's turning on, Bluetooth connected or Bluetooth search mode or something like this, is so much bass heavy that it starts vibrating on your cheek, which is a little bit of disturbance. Also, when I raise the volume a little bit too loud, of course, this starts vibrating and it gets a little bit of, uncomfortable there. But I like that it's getting loud, which is like sometimes in an environment, especially outside, you need it a little bit louder. And when playing back music, I never had this rumbling kind of feeling, or the feeling that it's getting too loud or too bassy, which is, I think, quite good. Regarding what sports you can do with the Naenka Runners Pro 2, besides running around outside in the field, indoors even, they are IP68 water and dust protected. So if you get a little bit of sweat on there, shouldn't be an issue. I think light swimming should be possible as well, though I would not dive deep, when you know what I mean. Just like light swimming should be no issues at all. But they have, I think, also a swimmer edition extra that you can get on Naenka, bone conducting extra for swimmers as well, optimized there. And but it should work out with them as well. So almost all workouts that you are doing indoors that don't involve wrestling or some kind of other fight sport, boxing or something like this, should be no issue at all with the Naenka Runner Pro 2. And they have it already in the name. It's made for running actually most of the time. So overall, what I think about the Naenka Runner Pro 2, I think this is for sports, for people who like to do sports, especially because we don't have a microphone there. Like I said, this is one of the downsides, but otherwise I think precise, good audio quality for workout, very, very good. Bone conduction at its best, I would say. So if you like to have a bone conduction headphone, you don't want to plug anything in your ears, still want to listen to music, podcasts and so on, this is the right set for you. I think the price is not too high. I will link down below this little box here where you can get it as well. And yeah, that's it for my review of the Naenka Pro Runner Pro 2. And what do you think about Bone Conduction headphones? Have you ever tried them out? Write it down in the comment section as well. That's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Until the next time. Bye.